We wanted our first experiential program to be something really meaningful and really accessible to everyone.
They were very upfront when we first started talking years ago, how they said, yo, working at Pixar, our kids get a chance to see things that other children cannot see. And how can we put something together that every student, every child can have access to see how Pixar works and the same opportunities to learn the same way our children learn.
And so I'm a CTE teacher. So I'm really supposed to be teaching industry standard skills, bringing in project-based learning, work-based learning, industry partners. I found this program and I just did it the full 9 weeks. So I was like, this is what we're doing.
They saw creative writing and they saw what's right behind me right here as the tool that we'll be using to accomplish that. I had 20 kids sign up, and I was looking to kind of cut some kids that can't have a class that big.
Like I said, the principal told me, she said, I had a kid that cried. I had a kid that when I told her who this was and what it was going to be and what they were going to do, they just come from a place within themselves that they say, we don't get to do this in school. Their parents were as impressed as the kids were.
Yeah, the reason why I'm here is because I believe in the program. I've seen, the change that it does to students. And I think the biggest change has been in the students that have the least resources. The focus is on story. So when they hear, it's not about having the fanciest computer and the fanciest equipment. It's what you have to say. And then they start saying it, and then they start getting that feedback. And it just sparks something that, it's going to last for the rest of their lives. I know because it happened to me, and I've seen it happen to others.
So I've taught the program both with just paper and pencil. We recorded everything on our phone. And then the second semester, once I got my footing, we used Procreate and Krita and Wacom tablets. We got a little sound studio going. And so I've kind of taught it all the ways in terms of a lot of resources and no resources. Everything is amazing. Every single thing that's offered is very, very meaningful. So what I really love about the program is there's really only two things that you have to do. You have to see the assignment and you have to submit something at the end of the week.
And I'm grateful for the story experiential process because it's able to just democratize that experience for the kids. It gives them the tools, the information and the knowledge is there, it's shared with them, and then it's like, okay, here you go. And they can build on it and turn it into whatever it is they see it being.
The program itself is kind of structured so that you can take it as an individual or as a member of a team. And so students were placed in groups of 4. And so there they could pitch stories, ideas to each other. Then they could pitch it to the entire class. And they could get feedback from each other. They can get feedback from the class. And then they can get feedback from this program. People who were really quiet in the teams found their voices. They started they realized that their stories have power, and I was able to see them come out of their shell.
Initially, I had some reservations, how am I going to make this work? But really, in using it, I was more of a facilitator, when helping and guiding the student.
In all the times I've ever facilitated one of the storytelling sessions, something happens where they become engaged, but then they feel responsible. And that's not something that you can manufacture I don't think, as an educator. That you have to create an environment where that happens.
I think the big thing about creativity is that it's a muscle that we have to exercise. And if we don't exercise that creativity, then we become very stagnant.
Where education has to go, right? With the emergence of AI, with the emergence of, we have supercomputers in our pockets, and many of our students, at least in the American context, will never be in a situation where they don't have access to maybe the majority of answers they might be seeking in terms of A plus B equals C or facts. And so with that, the brain's role shifts from maybe a memory bank to a generator of ideas and concepts that connects these things together.
The kids are just looking for a way to be heard. That's it. We all just want attention, and that our ideas and thoughts are validated. I just think that goes a long way.